You know that feeling, right? When you're stuck at a crossroads and there's this war raging, not out on some battlefield, but right inside your own head. Well, today, we're going to dive into an essay by Xu Feng called The Battle of the Soul, which takes a really deep look at this universal human struggle.
I mean, have you ever been totally paralyzed by questions like these? Should I get a divorce? Should I resign from my job? Should I actually believe what he's telling me? The author of this piece argues that these aren't just your average tough decisions. Oh no, they're the actual front lines of a really deep internal war.
So what exactly is this struggle we're talking about? Well, the author gives it a name, the Battle of the Soul. Let's break down what that really means.
Okay, so here's the definition from the essay. It's the conflict of consciousness between two diametrically opposed viewpoints within one person. So think about that. It's not some external good versus evil thing. It's two powerful, completely opposite ideas battling for control, right inside your own mind. It's a tug-of-war and you're the rope.
But what's this war really about? You know, on the surface, it might seem like it's about a job or a relationship, but the author argues that the real conflict is happening on a much, much deeper level.
And here we go. This is the core idea of the whole essay. Every single one of these battles of the soul is actually a battle of your values. It's a fundamental clash between two of your deepest principles, and they're both fighting to win.
This image just perfectly captures that disconnect the author's talking about. On the left, you see someone who looks totally fine, calm, peaceful, maybe even happy. But on the inside, as you see on the right, it can be an absolute war zone. We're talking fierce fighting, burning anger, and what the author literally calls a river of blood.
And the essay gives some really powerful real-world examples. Take the question, should I eat meat? That's not just about what's for dinner, is it? It's the value of animal welfare clashing with, maybe, personal taste or family tradition. Or look at the example of infidelity. How someone reacts isn't just about emotion, it's about their core values. Do they value forgiveness above all? Or is it traditional fidelity? Or maybe even revenge? When your values are in a head-on collision like this, well, that's when the battle begins.
And this isn't just some small personal problem. The author argues that this internal battle actually scales up, creating massive real-world consequences that honestly affect every single one of us.
And to show just how high the stakes really are, the author brings up a pretty devastating number: 1 million. According to the essay, that's how many people die by suicide across the globe every year. And they're framed as the ultimate casualties of this internal war, people who lost their battle of the soul.
This right here illustrates the author's biggest point. This internal battle is basically the blueprint for all human conflict. From a simple argument between a couple to a global trade war, the essay claims these are all just the external symptoms of a deep-down clash of values, a battle of souls playing out on the world stage.
So if this battle is so devastating, how in the world do we stop it? How do you call a ceasefire? Well, the author first takes a look at the common paths people take to find peace and argues they're all complete dead ends. The essay makes the case that chasing external things like money, power, fame, or even relying on big structures like marriage or religion, it won't bring you peace. The author calls these pursuits quenching thirst with poison. The idea is they don't just fail to end the war, they actually make it way more brutal.
Okay, so if all those common paths just lead us astray, where does the author suggest we look for this inner peace, for this pure land of the soul? Turns out, the essay offers a very specific answer.
The author's conclusion is incredibly specific. The essay points to a complete restructuring of one's life on a path that it calls life genuine. And here's the direct quote: "The pure land of the soul is found in the new mode of production and life created by life genuine." So we're not talking about a quick fix here. This is presented as an entirely new way of living, one designed to resolve this internal conflict once and for all.
So let's just quickly trace the journey we've been on through this essay. We started by defining this battle of the soul as an internal war of values. We saw how this personal struggle can scale up and cause global conflict. And finally, we arrived at the author's very specific vision for how to find peace.
The essay ends with a wish for everyone to find their own inner peace. And so, we'll leave you with the same question that this whole journey inspires. Where is your pure land of the soul?